None of the questions that I ever ask are dumb. Just so you know.
What up, dingbat? And yes, they are. They're like you ask some dumb questions.
But they're always
Like,
deep.
ah, you know, like sometimes we'll be doing a podcast and I'll be like, oh, our poor guest was just subjected to a dumb question from Steve. I'm just kidding. You ask very insightful,
Thanks, man.
thoughtful questions that are that I think our guests appreciate. I just don't because I hate you.
No. Okay. What's the deep thought of the day?
I love you.
Right back at you. What's your deep
Um,
thought? I always have the deep thoughts. What's your deep thought?
well, you're pretending like we just get on these things completely unprepared. Like, hey, what's a deep thought today? And then you just throw out some random deep thought and we've not had any forethought or talking about. So, um, but that being said, I'm completely unprepared right now. So I'm just gonna have a deep thought real quick. And I think we've been talking about, and I think it's important. I love the phrase actions speak louder than words, right? We've heard that our entire lives.
Yeah.
People say it, but I think people say a lot of stuff. Like they say things like, well, losing weight's easy. You just burn more calories than you consume. Well, yeah, it is easy. It's an easy concept. Or, the golden rule, treat others as you'd like to be treated. Yep. That's very simple. Even Jesus, the deepest dude ever was like, hey, just love your God with all your mind, heart, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah.
Easy.
Simple. Easy. They're all very easy things. So, and when we talk about actions speak louder than words, it's very easy. Nobody would disagree. There's not anybody out there that's like, nope, words way more important than actions. Everybody, it's a universal truth. But how often do we really do it? How often do we really consider those words and not just use them as a, just throw them out there? Well, actions speak louder than words. How often do we really consider the depth and the implications of actions speaking louder than words? And then when you translate that into how you lead your family, how you're a husband, how you're a father, how you're a business partner, how do you really do that? Right? Do you really consider those things? And even yesterday, you and I had a conversation about we have to spend some money on a property that it's not our fault necessarily, but there was a situation that would lead somebody to, think that they had air conditioner in this specific case. And we ended the conversation by saying, okay, we don't really have this money, but what's the right thing to do?
Yeah.
We could have said no, and I could have called the tenant and explained why it's a no. And be like, well, it's not my fault. I didn't know. We could have done that and been justified. But was it the right thing to do? And that's what drove our decision yesterday on that one specific thing. But oftentimes, dude, we're having these conversations and a lot of times there are, it's not black and white. There's a gray, and there's things that we could do that are just probably not, it's not shady, it's not illegal, it's not even wrong.
Yeah.
But is it the right thing to do, the highest and best that we know what we should do, right?
Well, and does it align with our values?
And does it align with your values? And in order to make that decision, you probably need to spend some time understanding your why and what your values are, right? Mm-hmm. Because that makes the decision. The bad thing, the pain in the butt part about having values that you have written out. Again, another thing, hey, have good core values. People say that all the time, but spend zero time developing them. Yeah. And they'll take up things, integrity. Integrity is really important. Yep, it sure is. What does that mean to you? But the downside, the problem with having core values that you've established are, oh, dang, like I have to make a decision based on these things that we said were important to us. And so I think the idea of actions speak louder than words is a very, very fundamental idea and value and core tenet of yours and my decision-making process, not only in our business, but in our homes.
Yeah. Yeah, being a leader in our family is really important to us, and instilling the values that are a part of our family's life is important. And I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about how do you create long lasting change and long lasting impact and influence in people that you love and care for. And a lot of us are like, let's just pick religion. We're Christians. We want our children to grow up to be God-fearing Christians, and we want to go to church. And so, do you just tell your kids, hey, we're going to church, you're going to read the Bible, you're going to love Jesus? Or do
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
or do you instill values by leading by example, right? Like, do you intentionally like plan your time of reading the Bible around maybe when your kids wake up and they come downstairs and they see their dad reading the Bible over a cup of coffee, and they see that over and over and over again every single morning? Do they see their parents, getting ready and just saying, hey, church is a thing. Church is going to be a Sunday thing for us? Do they see us having conversations about stories in the Bible? So those are things that, like, instead of just telling someone you're going to do it because it's my value, it's our family value, lead by example and instill values by just doing it, being the one that does it. If exercise and being healthy is an important value in my family's life, I want my kids to see me exercising,
Yeah.
so they're going to walk downstairs and see me on the Peloton bike at 6 a.m. every single day, because that's something I do. So I think leading by example through instilling values by not words, but by actions is really the way to create long lasting change and impact value.
Yeah, dude. And I'll tell you, man, it's it's kids and not even kids, like everybody sees right through your words. Like we should not be mistaken to think that we're so smart and creative and whatever, that our words, when they don't align with our values, you see right through it, right?
Yeah.
And it's so transparent, and then you lose so much. Like, it's better if you say nothing before you're actually doing it than to say than to I guess mandate or drive or say this is my value, because it's something that is so easy to see through when you get to know somebody. And dude, this stuff's not easy, man. Like, you and I had a conversation, we've been driving down a couple hours back to look at properties, and we've had some really good conversations, right? And you and I do not, as much fun as we have together, and as much as people see how genuine we are, like, our realtor sees and embraces who we are and how we interact with one another, and that there's true love there and friendship. Dude, we do not agree on everything. And those are the things that are very emotional, important things that we disagree on.
Yeah.
But we have really, really good conversations about them, because we've made a decision that our actions and the way we treat each other is a certain way, right? And I think it's the same with, like you said, with the kids and with them watching you do things, and with your business partners and with your spouse. And like, I can say all day that I love my wife, and everybody does, right? Of course you love your spouse, you say that, but like, what are you doing about it? Does your spouse, ask your spouse if they feel loved? And that'll be a very insightful question, right? Do you feel loved? No. Oh, well, I love you. Of course I love you, right? But I had a conversation with Jake the other night, my middle guy, and I was asking him, it was kind of playful, but it was about girls. Like, he's been combing his hair and styling, and I'm like, hey,
Nice.
Are there any girls at school or whatever? And he gets kind of embarrassed, kind of shy, whatever. And we're talking about it, but I use that to segue into, hey buddy, I want you to be able to tell me about everything going on in your life. I want to be here for you, and I want to hear you and support you and love you. And dude, he's 9 and he's a knucklehead, and so like this stuff, but I keep trying to plant these seeds. But if I say that, and then when he starts to tell me something, and I'm like, nah, dude, that's not important.
Right.
I don't know. You should do this. Oh no, that's you're thinking of that wrong. If that's my reaction, which we do a lot, especially to our kids, then what is that telling him? What are my actions telling him? Well, I'm not there for him to listen to him and his perspective and points. I'm there to tell him what I would do and how I feel about the things that he's bringing up. And then that's going to shut the door. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's all the little things, you know, and I think about that with you, because I talk a lot, dude. I like to talk and I like to get my points and I like to do the thing. But even with you, my best friend that we spend every single day together, like I'm very conscious to be like, okay, dude, validate this idea. As dumb as this idea is that Stu has on this property, at least validate the process that he went through to come to that. And what's really shocking is I may think what you're bringing up is dumb, and I'm like, no way. And then I listen to you and I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. That's actually way better.
Not so dumb
than I thought it was going to be. And now I'm fully on your side, right? I'm on the same page. So
yeah,
I think that doing part, man, is critical.
Yeah, man. So don't be dumb and stop talking so much and do more stuff. And don't be dumb, but be deep.
Oh, you're so dumb. You're dumb. And the funny thing is that you do dumb. Like that's what you do. Like you're not just, it's not just the words that come out of your mouth. Like you do dumb really well. Like you are truly a dumb dude.
I appreciate it.
A dumb dingbat.
Dingbat. That's a good one. I like that. You got
DDD. You're triple. You're triple threat. You're the triple D threat. Dumb dingbat.
Okay, so hope this was powerful for you. And don't be dumb, be deep. And if you're deep, then don't be dumb. And what else? What do you say? That's it,
dude.
Okay,
you got it. Nailed it.
Don't be a dingbat.
Don't be a dingbat.
Bye-bye.
See ya.